But I realized something. The very first time when my friends were winning, I'd clap hands, I'd feel excited because I felt like it was closer, like, at least my friend is winning.
This is a typical example of how friends can destroy your life. Now, let's watch this whole video and see how it goes. This is a typical example of how friends can destroy your life.
I felt like I'm closer to success because this guy is winning. Like the guy that I'm sitting with, eating with, is winning. Obviously, it means that I'm going to be winning sometime soon. You get it? So that's how I saw it. But I noticed the very first time when I started winning, when I started having like some small success, it's funny because the same people that, we went through tough times, we done, I was cheering up, I celebrated, they started like talking down on me, calling me a scam, saying that, I do things, I'm doing a lot of things, like just talking down on me, and it hurt me. That was like one of my first heartbreaks that I got, especially in the hustling industry.
Well, we gotta be careful with the kinds of friends that we surround ourselves with, because some of the people that are there to drain you, to drain energy from you, to drain money from you, and a lot of things that people can drain from anybody, So you gotta be careful when it comes to people like that, because sometimes we surround ourselves with the wrong people, thinking that they're here to bring some positive input into our lives, not knowing that they only want to benefit from you. Once they don't get those benefits, they're going to turn on you. This is why they are calling you a scammer. The reason why they're calling you a scammer is simply because they know the operations that you guys run, right? Now, it's easy for them to turn on you because they know a lot of things about you. Not to say that you are a scammer, but what they're saying things that you guys in your cycle used to do or do. You understand? So you gotta be careful with the kind of people you surround yourselves with, because the kind of company you surround yourselves with, they are a simple reflection of who you are. So I don't buy it when you say that they used to call you a scammer. They call you a scammer because they know your whole operation. Not saying you're a scammer. They are the ones that are calling you a scammer. So they know your operation. We don't know nothing about about your operation, So you gotta be careful with the kind of people you surround yourself with. It's as easy as that from what I've learned so far.
Because I felt like they'd be excited for me. I felt like they'd be like, oh, wow, we all got cars, so you are now also getting a car, type thing. But now they started speaking bad, mentioning all these things, and it got to me, but obviously I got over it, and, things happen. But the more you start moving forward, the more you start progressing, the more people are now going to start talking bad on you. Truly speaking, I don't know why people do it this way, because I've never really talked down on someone. If someone that is close to me experience success, I get excited because I know their success equals to my success. Obviously, it doesn't mean if you made $1 million, that $1 million is mine, but I know that I'll be exposed to certain things. But for other people, they don't want that. Like, people are comfortable with your old self. People are comfortable with you being the way that they're used to you being.
This is easy. This is very easy. Listen, you know what you did wrong. I'm talking to you, Mr. Lisiba Mutupi. Listen, what you did wrong is you went and collected your homeboys, your childhood friends. Remember, those people know your background. Those people know where you come from. Those people know what you used to eat. Those people know exactly where you used to go to school. You used to attend the same school with them. Now, when you go and collect them during your success, right? When you go and collect them and bring them closer to you, that's a big mistake, because you are trying to give a ladder to someone when yourself you are still climbing up the ladder. You get me? You can't do that. You have to climb the ladder. When you get there at the top, when nobody can now pull that ladder down, you can now bring the ladder down and give it to them. When you are up there at the top of the building, that's the only time you can. You don't even owe them bringing the ladder down. You don't even owe them nothing, but you did it at the wrong time. I feel like you tried to help everybody when yourself were still upcoming. You were too quick to help. Your mistake was that you wanted to help at the point where yourself needed help. You get me? So you can't go and collect your childhood friends and bring them into your boat, because they will drag you down. Your boat was not enough. You thought you were on a ship. You were on a boat, not a ship. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say here. So I hope you are learning one or two things, because this video is specifically for you. This video is for you. You must listen. I might seem like someone who can't give advice. Trust me, I can. I'm keeping my things at a balance here. I'm not trying to be flashy or whatever. I don't have what you have, my guy. But the knowledge, it's something that I can share with you. Listen, you can't do that. Don't ever repeat that same mistake of trying to pull your friend with you. Trust me, I've been in that situation. A lot of people can agree with me on that. Don't do that again. Leave them there, pull yourself up there. Once you get to a level where nobody can bring you down, then you can start thinking about helping other people. Let's continue with the video.
And some of the biblical examples, Joseph, David, even Jesus himself were doubted. So
just stop with the Bible. Can you just stop with the Bible, my guy? The Bible will not be your rescuer here. You need to change your mentality. Stop with the Bible, man.
Truly speaking, you should not try to focus more on people clapping for you, people rooting for you. It doesn't really happen that way. When you're hustling, when you're in the process, it's, in fact, when people are clapping for you, you should be asking yourself, what exactly are you doing wrong? And here's the thing, God uses suffering as training. Tough times are not punishment.
You are right. You can't surround yourself with yes men, yes people. You can't surround yourself with people that agree with you all the time. Those kind of people, that are the kind of people that are going to bring you down. So you are right on that. But stop with the Bible again. Stop with the Bible, man. We don't want to hear that. Anyways, let's continue.
There are preparations. Most people are not willing to go through tough times. Each and every tough time builds a great character of yourself. For me, each and every situation that I felt like was the worst of the worst came with like a major success afterwards. And major success not in a materialistic way, but in a way whereby I was able to learn something about myself. I remember there was a time whereby, back in the olden times, I think it was 4 years ago, I had a team over 30 people. And at some point, you know, because of one person didn't like certain things, like let's say one person wanted to be in this role and I didn't want to put them there because I didn't think that they are okay to be in that role, and they got jealous. So now they started talking bad in the team, like to everyone, like in terms of this person, like they mustn't work technically. And obviously it's a business, it's a company. The more you work, the more we make. So if you don't work, we're not gonna make money. It's like that.
I am glad because you understand how a business works. You know, that's exactly how a business works. I myself have a business. I've got you know, people that I pay each and every single month. So I do understand what you're saying there. If you are not productive in the business, we have to cut you. We have to cut you off. But I don't think you did cut them off, because remember, you hired your friends. You hired your friends. You went and hired your friends. That's the biggest issue that you are facing, because you went and hired your friends. I don't think you fired them, which was the downfall of the business. This is why the business closed. Because if you had fired them, hired the right people in the right positions, despite them being friends or whatnot, the business could have survived. It didn't survive. I think your business lasted for maybe 4, 5, 6 months or whatever the case may be. It did not survive because you went and hired your friends. So I'm glad you understand now that business has to be run in a proper way, in a business way.
Yes, I do trade, but I trade my own money, and whatever I can't trade, make 200K and then expect to pay salaries with that. You understand? The business on its own is supposed to provide for those salaries.
As much as you are correct, you are right. You can't take your personal money and pay expenses for the business. But because the business is under you, you end up not having any choice, because when it's under you, then it's going to affect you. People can come straight to you and demand their payroll subs, also the rental for the landlord, and the other expenses. You have to cover them from your personal money, because remember, the business is under you. You have no choice. You have to pay. You have to pay. So, but once that happens, then that means that now you have to restructure the business and make sure the business is able to pay its own expenses. So, as much as you're correct, but at the end of the day, it comes back to you. You have no choice on that. You have no choice on that. That's business, my guy.
So what happened was that now some people are not comfortable or didn't like certain arrangements, and they started slacking, didn't work, pulled their feet, like, you know, they wouldn't work. Only when I come in the office, they would act as if they're working and things like that. So obviously numbers started declining. And I even made it clear month by month, guys, numbers are declining. It will get to a point where I'll have
like I said, friends, we are going back to the original source of the problem. Friends, do not hire your friends. You are warning them month by month, but you are losing. You are just warning them. It's a game. You are warning them. You can't do that. My guy, it's a business. You fire. You are not productive. You go. You don't warn because they are friends. You warn them. Come on. It will end up hurting you, which it did. I'm not happy saying this, but it did. You should have learned. Let them go.
Yes, now I'm making money on my side, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to sacrifice, you know, my kids, my whatever, in order to just feed you. I've sacrificed already the income that I'm making from the business. I don't get anything. I'm feeding you. So the least that you can do is put in the work. And obviously they didn't put in the work. Month 4, I had to cut down a lot of people and all those things. And during that time, truly speaking, for me now, yes, I did mention that I'm not gonna, you know, stress or worry too much about them. But I started stressing. I started worrying too much about them because I didn't think of what am I gonna lose. I thought of what are these people gonna lose. You understand? Because I saw some of them coming from nothing, all those things, and to a point whereby even the trading money that I was making, because the business now was in negative. Like let's say expenses were on 400K. So now even the trading money that I was making, I had to start paying salaries with that money. To a point where I now started being mentally damaged and I couldn't trade properly because now I was trading to pay salaries and I started making a lot of mistakes. That's why I even lost a lot of money when it comes to trading because I was just in a mental thing. And during that time, I remember very well, there were nights where I couldn't sleep. I was stressing. I was shaking every night when people were sleeping at night. For maybe a good 3 months, I was not sleeping. I was like shaking. I was sweating. I was looking at. I wouldn't sleep. I'm being for real, and that was the worst time because I never thought that I would be in that position. Because
now you are not sleeping. You are having sleepless nights. You are not making money. You are not being productive yourself, simply because you went and hired your friends. Listen, the lesson of this video to everyone and to you. Listen, never try and play an angel. You are not God. You are not an angel. Never try and be God or be an angel. You are just a human being like everybody else. You must save yourself first. Save yourself first. That is the lesson of this video. Learn to save yourself first before you turn into being an angel. Listen, everybody that is doing this philanthropic work, people that are giving away, people that are helping people, they first help themselves. This is why we only know about them when they are 45 or 50. Because during all this time, they were trying to help themselves first. Listen, you are just 27, 28 years, but you are already saving the world. That is a problem. You can't do that. So we've learned, you've learned, we all are learning from your mistakes. I hope you are also learning from your mistakes. Never repeat that same problem. Cheers, guys. See you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe, like. More videos are coming. Cheers. See you in the next one.